Pleasantries. 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 Is it ever okay to chat up bar staff? Is it ever okay to cheat on your barber? And how should you deal with scam callers? All of this and much more feature in this video.
So hello.
White trash and rednecks!
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Or good morning, or whenever you're watching this.
Oh, konnichiwa, there we go.
Is it acceptable to know the bartender's names?
If you're a regular, yes.
Yeah, it's a bit weird if you've never been in there before. You walk up and like, hey, you're right, John. And he's just standing there going, I have no clue who this person is. Like,
John's not even my real name.
And that is a West Midlands thing, so.
Fair.
When chatting with a woman, why do drunk weirdos feel the need to interrupt you?
Because they think they've got a chance, that's why.
I mean, the technical terminology is cockblock. I mean, it's not technically pub related, but I mean, I was out with somebody. Well, actually, I'll say out with somebody. We're just grabbing food with like another one of her friends, who is a female. And I think the 12-year-old in the well-known Golden Arches restaurant tried to assist with a non-existent freeway. Yeah, like we walked in, like we're just going to get food, and it's just like the guy, like, it can't have been any old like 12. Was just like, I'll snap 2 girls. Nice.
Oh, I've had loads of instances of it. Once in the pub with an ex, we'd had a slight argument, and I went into the bar to go find her because we're in the smoking area. No, it wasn't the smoking area, it's the beer garden because they're too fancy for smoking area. And there was 2 lads trying to pull my missus. That nearly had a large fight later on, so I ain't gonna go into that crap. But yeah, it happens a lot. An awful lot, especially when the drunk person thinks they've actually got a chance. Doesn't matter how drunk they are. I've seen people with like vomit on half their clothes trying to pull women. I was in a gay bar once and in Amsterdam, and I went to the toilet and did my business, come out of the cubicle, and there was no hole in the wall. I was a shocker. I thought they all had those. And there was an Asian guy stood by the door, and I was on a few things, and let's stick with that. And dude gave me eye contact, and he moved his eyes down, and I looked down, and there's his penis. That was awkward.
I can bloody imagine.
Yeah, I've just been stunned into silence.
Nothing happened, like, I just walked the fuck out awkwardly.
Yeah, my next question is, have you ever been to the pub when someone's been a bit too honest to you in there?
You pretty much expect people to be drinking, but most people don't know the bloody tolerances. So people just spout random bullshit all the time. I think it's an actual issue, but I think there are people who've said things to me that they've said when they're drunk that they wouldn't probably say it to me when they were sober.
And if you're sober enough, black and white. Sometimes it's like when you watch chat shows and they're drinking glasses of wine and shit. Like they do that to loosen them up a bit, so that they'll say more than they're supposed to.
Right, to be fair, I've had people literally proposition me when they're drunk, and I'm like, you're obviously too drunk. Come on, don't do that. Come back to me when you're sober, please.
Who the hell did they proposition you, Jesus?
I'd say it was subtle, but they came at me with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer. Weird, because they just came up to me, and I think they were trying to flirt, but they were so bland that I don't think they could tell what they were saying. Started the conversation with, and I quote, "You look like a teacher." I'm like, okay.
That's an interesting
I've
chat.
never heard that one before.
Very confused, like that was how it started, and then I was like, okay, what do you want me to do with this information? She was like, you look like you'd be a good teacher. I was like, yeah, you're obviously trying to hint at something. Me being an autistic dumbass, I'm just not understanding. You might need to be a little more clear on it, but to be fair, I was trying to go to the gentleman's.
Was the lady there like twirling her hair as she was saying it, going, "Oh, you look like such a teacher."
Even remember, this is the worst thing. I was slightly drunk as well. Yeah, this is probably the weirdest way someone's ever tried to chat with me. You look like a teacher. Okay, what the fuck do you want me to do with that information?
Is it ever appropriate to chat up a barmaid at the pub?
Given people we know who've tried to do it, it's just fucking hilarious. It's a bit weird though. I think it's a bit awkward because it's like, you're gonna go to someone's place of work and chat them up. Good lord.
I'm sure everyone's tried it once at least.
No, I'm a sadly professional person. I don't like bugging people when they're at work.
I think a lot of people need to realise as barmaids and barmen as well are only being nasty because they want you to spend money. They couldn't give a shit about you outside the establishment.
Really? I thought they were just there to like bring
Yeah,
me
I'm trying
drinks
to
and then take my
disappoint you,
drinks away when I was
but
done
yeah,
with
that's
them.
the sad reality, unfortunately.
Damn
I
it!
just want to point out it does work the other way when it's a woman involved. You know, if you switch the genders round, so if it's a male barman and a female customer,
Actually, that does come
they
across a
will
bit
flirt with
creepy.
you. No, but you know, the managers encourage it as long as people spend money in the club or the pub. The nightclub I worked in, which still has the nickname Grabber Granny Night. A lot of the time it'd be like women in their 50s buying men in their early 20s drinks. You'd get some of them kind of start trying to flirt with you, and then you kind of remember, I'm younger than half your age. Please just leave me alone. Please. Like, I can understand if we were in the same age group, that'd be a different story. But, you know, when a woman in her pushing 50 clearly had the run of the mill quite a few fucking times, and that's an understatement. You know, when she walks up and goes, oh, is there a chance you could give me an orgasm, and then runs off laughing because it's a drink that you sell, and you kind of stood there like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. And those are the stories that can be shared on the fucking platform we're using.
I did tell the barber that you're not happy with your trim.
Easy, you walk out, you don't pay. No, I'm joking. If you're not happy with it, like, you kind of have an idea what you want your hair to look like. I think a picture is helpful sometimes. You know, if you take your picture and go, this is what I had my hair like X amount of time ago, I just need that. I think that helps. But if you're not happy, just say something. Don't wait till they're done and then go, yeah, I don't like it. 'Cause you sound like a child.
Yeah, ordinarily you'll ask when it's at a point where it's like, hold on, mate, you've done this wrong, and you shouldn't be ashamed of saying that because, like, I'm fucking paying for you to make my outward physical appearance. Don't fuck it up.
There's a difference between sort of going, well, you know, that's as skilled as they're ever going to be, and, you know, if you're any sort of consummate professional in any industry, you don't want people going, oh, is that your work? Oh god, I don't want to touch that. You know, so I think if you're not happy, I don't think they'll take an issue with it if they're reasonable. But if you've gone through the whole thing, you go, yeah, you know what, you've done my hair how I asked you to do it, but I'm not happy with the end result, they're going to be slightly miffed. But if you're like, no, I don't really think you did an okay job with that, they might ask you, you know, how would you improve it, you know, that sort of thing. But you know, I don't think they want to be associated with bad work, because, God, imagine walking out of the barbers with a shit haircut, right, and people see that. That's more damaging to their business than you'd think.
See, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been to a barber in a couple of years because life. No, I didn't mind it, you know, like,
No, it's fun.
Every couple, well, I go about once a month.
Oh
because,
gosh,
you know,
I can still do that.
I didn't need my hair to be perfectly at whatever bullshit level self-centered idiots need their hair to be at. You know, like, I'd have a chat with him, we'd talk about TV shows and Netflix, everything, and I'd give him a tip at the end because he was an alright lad, and then he quit, and then age caught up with me.
Is it ever acceptable to cheat on your barber?
Yes. No, I'm joking.
It's not like you have to take out a fucking contract with them. It's not like I'm paying a direct debit for a haircut. You know, it's not like I've just signed up with fucking Netflix and I've decided, you know what, I prefer Prime better, I think I'll just stick with it. They're not gonna give you a fucking email saying please come back. They ain't gonna give a shit. You know, look, it's okay to go to a different barber, like, you know, if you can't get to your regular one. Or in my case, if the lad finds a new job and fucks off to somewhere else. So... it's kind of okay, but stick to the regular.
I don't think it's an issue myself. But I mean, if you're swapping barbers all the time, you're gonna have weird fucking hair anyway. But you know, for me, I did have that scenario because I literally, you know, I had a barber. I mean, they're still there. I just don't go anymore. But you know, I have a barber I go to if I need to be made up for nice events. But I did have one when I went to university because obviously I wasn't going to commute all the way back here from university just to get my hair done. I mean, I did do it sometimes, but it was more just when I was coming back, it was less of an issue.
Yeah, it's horrible when you go to the gentleman's club without the right haircut.
If you go shopping with a woman with a, I don't know, you dated her, or she's a family member, would it be rude to bring headphones with you, as you know it's going to be sort of a long day?
There's two sides to this argument, because I've been shopping with a woman I wasn't dating but was a friend. And it's still just as fucking nightmarish, because we were hanging. I don't know. I can't remember why the fuck we were hanging out. Just the two of us, honestly. And she was like, "Oh, I've got to stop in Primani for some stuff." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." You know, because I had no plans. I was just hanging out to hang out. And it's like, because it's a female friend and not a male friend, it's like she goes into the dressing room, and outside the dressing room there's just a bunch of guys, and we all just give the nod. It's like, we know why we're here. We've been dragged by a woman. It's fine. We can all live with ourselves. People take their time in change rooms because they're trying stuff on, make sure it fits. Make sure, oh, it looks good. Oh, I can wear this with X and Y. You know, it's fine. You know, you're out. You know, you're gonna be in there a while, so you better hope there's a chair. Otherwise, your feet are gonna hurt.
How quickly do you reckon you could go clothes shopping? Because I reckon at the most, probably the longest amount of time I could probably take is probably about an hour.
Considering I do my Christmas shopping in about an hour, clothes shopping is pretty fucking quick. Although there has been times when, like, a long time ago I was going to the gym a lot, and I'd lost so much weight I didn't actually know what size trousers I was anymore. I had to take like 3 pairs of the same style but all the different sizes. That took a bit of time. Yeah, pretty quick. I mean, you call me Ron Swanson, for fuck's sake, that should pretty much describe it.
For me, it depends. Normally, I'm the sort of guy, I had a fairly frugal upbringing, so I don't typically tend to go clothes shopping till I desperately need to go clothes shopping. So we're talking holes in clothes, sort of.
Thing like Lister style level from Red Dwarf.
Probably a little less than that, but it's up there.
Before the custard or after the custard stain?
Ooh, probably just before the custard stain, but no, I mean, it's always reasonable, like, if it's got a giant hole in it, yeah, go straight in the bin, but, you know, if I can get it to the shop, I don't mind wearing it, because, you know, I'm swapping it anyway, it's not like it's an issue. But if I'm going clothes shopping, typically I'm going with a product in mind, so I typically tend to be in and out within about 5-ish minutes, because I kind of already know my sizes. I think longest I've ever been clothes shopping is like maybe like 25 minutes, but I was trying shit on, but I tend to be quite quick getting shit on and off, so no, like maybe 25 minutes most, like, because I typically know what I'm going for, but because I know my sizes, I can typically shop online and not ever have to send stuff back, which is a God-given miracle skill.
You know, those are the times when it's really great to have a phone on your game, or a, you know, portable games console. See, all those other idiots who are just standing there staring at nothing, you can just sit there, you know, playing on a game. Or every now and then you try to figure out roughly where she's going to go. So that's when, you know, you start going diagonally in roughly that area. So that way, you know, if you're stuck in the shop with them, you know, you can pretend you're shooting at, I don't know, fucking battleships or some shit, I ain't too sure.
Have you ever been to a shop in person and then immediately looked for the same product on the internet?
No. It depends, because sometimes it's like, yeah, because I typically tend to look online to see if it's cheaper. But the trade-off to that is, the only time I typically go online is if they don't have the product in store and I cannot be bothered to travel to the next town over to go get it.
It also depends on the item. Like buying a games console, sometimes you're just not in the mood to, you know, buy the shit deal that the shop has on offer. You know, like when it's, oh, buy this games console and it comes with these 2 free games. It's like, oh, funnily enough, I don't really want to get FIFA.
Or you sitting there going, I'd rather pay extra money to not have these games.
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes, you know, when I bought my PS4, I ordered that online. Like, I went around. Like, it's one of the rare times I've actually shopped around for a deal on something. Not because I'm cheap, but because I wanted to get a decent, like, you know, storage space and shit like that. And eventually, I found a better option online.
What are your thoughts on people who have that leaflet in town centres?
Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. No, I'm joking. It depends what the leaflet contains, because I mean, if it's deals for a store that I like going to, you know, I'm all for it. But if it's people trying to convince me to join their religion, I mean, cool, I mean religion, what, you know, I'm a little more, what's the word I'm looking for here, difficult to persuade.
Actually, my favourite thing with that is, you two know about this, is I used to have to go through town centre before I used to have to go to work. There's one person at the workplace who you two both know who I'm on about. He got wound up a bit too easy, so I was on the one day to work, I walked through town centre.
Oh, I remember
they were
this.
giving out a knife crime leaflet, or I think it was a Mormon leaflet or some other religion leaflet. I took it with me and just gave it to me and went up to him and was like, yeah, this might be quite useful to you. And he got really irritated. It was the funniest things of that day, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a good one, to be fair. I kind of have to agree with Brock on the first thing, fuck those guys. But I have had some interesting ones. Once on a night out, this guy was giving out these leaflets, and they had "Go to Club Hell" written on them. I was thinking, oh cool, a new metal nightclub's opened up, and we were like, we'll check that out later on. And the next day, like, I was going through my pocket and I pulled out the thing and I flipped it over and it said, "Or go to Club Heaven," and it was for religious flyers. That happened.
What are your thoughts about people who try to flog your shit in town centres?
Depends what it is.
Depends how gullible they are. One thing I've started doing the past couple of years in life is fucking with people who do those phone calls. I had one the once, and he phoned me up and he was asking me about a car crash. Clearly just like, you know, trying to get lucky with some insurance thing. It's funny because I've never had a provisional, let alone owned a fucking car. I just like relayed a scene from Batman Begins. I was like, you know, yeah, mate. Well, what it was at night, right? And there was this black car. It was just driving into everything, smashing into everything. You know, the police were chasing him, everything. And the guy's typing it all down, typing the whole fucking thing down. He's like, yeah, so where did this happen? I said, Gotham. And he misheard me. He went, you mean Bolton? I was like, nah, mate, Gotham. 3 times he misheard me. When he finally caught on what I said, I heard him say half the word. He went, oh, and then he hung up. When I was 16, you know those accident insurance fellas that used to be around? I once made up a story when I was 16 about me and my mate walking down the street and we got attacked by a dog. And it bit my mate in the balls and pierced his testicle. And these guys believed every fucking second of it, right? We walked away and my 2 friends I was with at the time, they're like, did that really happen? I was like, fuck no, I was just trying to keep him pissed off. Or keep him, like, away from us or whatever. Because, you know, sometimes you get bored telling dickheads like that you're not interested. You want to waste their time.